Tackle Shop Confessions is back with a big raffle this Monday, August the 11th. We've got two Z Custom Rod Chovy rods ready to go out to you. A TTR 880 rated at 15 to 30 pounds and a Seeker CLB 804 10 to 25 pound rod. Tickets are only $5 or you can get 5 tickets for $20. You can Zelle Chuck Zimmer at 310-918-1448 or Venmo Chuck at Charles-Zimmer-5. Any more questions, send Chuck a text, 310-918-1448. Hope you win big. Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Man, is it great to be with you all. Good morning. Thanks for spending some time with us here on Freedmen Adventures, as we've got a lot to talk about. Is that bluefin tuna bite still in the toilet? We're going to talk about that in a moment. How about somebody just rolled up just a while ago on a kelp, threw some bait, and the yellowfin tuna exploded? We'll tell you where and what it means for Southern California anglers. There's some bluefin tuna also all over the place, but also up there around what we call the Santa Barbara Island Gap. Some of that stuff is actually biting pretty good on the poppers. We love those tuna riot poppers. And of course, the El Dorado with a big hit of white sea bass and some other fish. Thunderbird still scratching out some of those big grade yellowtail. And the Coronado Islands sizzling, that and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, God, is that good? And is it great to be with you all? If you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to the Freedmen Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable, stinky little bell, and you'll be notified when there's new content. Also, you can follow us on Facebook. Nice warm water in here. Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Thank you so much for joining us. So much to cover with you. Let's first of all go to Mexico, Cedros Island. Not the same amount of yellowtail we normally see. There's a pretty good bite on the yellowtail. Some days it's pretty good, some days it's not so good. There's some white sea bass, halibut mixed in with it. Outstanding calico bass fishing down there on San Quintin. 140 miles down below the border, we continue to see really good yellowtail action down there. That bite remains consistent. We'll have some offshore news when we get to the bluefin tuna report here in just a moment. In the Ensenada area, the bluefin tuna is still pretty elusive. You still catch an occasional fish on a trolled Mad Mac lure. The poppers work pretty well on those foamers of bluefin tuna. They'll work really well once the light switch goes back on, but they've got lockjaw right now. I mean, they just don't want to bite, but that's not stopping the Ensenada boys from catching pretty good yellowtail, good barracuda, some great calico bass fishing, and also we continue to catch plenty of rockfish. So that is also going on down south of the border. Good stuff indeed. Long range fishing remaining pretty darn good. We're seeing wahoo at Alejos Rocks. The Intrepid had fished. Several other boats have been getting in on that wahoo bite there, like the Royal Polaris. The staple has been two species, yellowtail and yellowfin tuna. The bite on both remains really well. The Independence is headed back towards San Diego right now. They're going to poke their nose in on the coast this morning and see if they can't, dredge up a white sea bass or a halibut or some calico bass. They've been doing pretty darn well on all of those other species, but now on their way home, they are taking a look at the inshore stuff, as many of these guys will do. So that is all great stuff. That long range situation's been good. And when we say long range, we're talking about San Diego base boats and 8-day trips. Those guys have been scoring some really good hits on both yellowfin tuna and yellowtail. Let's talk about our offshore bluefin tuna fishing. And right now, when we look at that, we have a tremendous stretch of fish from several hundred miles down the Baja coast to all the way up to Santa Barbara. And overall, yes, it is still in the toilet. Very few fish being taken at night and in the daytime. It is very, very poor fishing right now. We don't know if it's that, oh, we can't see it because it's cloudy here, that full moon or what it is. There's been some wind, there's been lockjaw, fish don't want to bite, there's been the full moon. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons to point the blame at, but we actually don't know what the reason for this really poor bluefin tuna fishing is. And it remained that way again last night with boats really having a difficult time. Man, if you had 5 fish last night, you had a really big night. Let's put it that way. So that bite is remaining very, very difficult. Our friend Jeff Lingle, now he fishes a yacht. And by the way, just so you know, we never mentioned the name of the yacht or anything like that. Everybody on there has security clearances. So we can't talk about who's on board, what the yacht is exactly, but his info into us is invaluable, and he's such a great person. I don't know if he's a better fisherman or a better person. Yeah, I do. He's a better person, but he's one hell of a fisherman. Now, he's down below there at 130 miles on a drop shot rig with a small sardine. They had a 191-pounder last night. Then they had a couple of fish in the 65 to 75-pound class. Jeff says it's tough fishing. There is no doubt about it. They have to work really hard to get a bite. Now, Jeff just hit a kelp patty. Here's your yellowfin tuna dope right now. He just hit a kelp, threw some bait on it, saw some Dorado swimming around there, but he also had an explosion. I mean, a lot of fish, yellowfin tuna down there that exploded on the bait. That is the good news. If it's bad news, and I'm not so sure it's bad news, but they were all straight 5 to 8 pounders. This going on about 130 miles below the border. What I am more interested in when I see that, I know the grade of fish, 5 to 8 pounds, may not float your boat, may not get you all that excited, but what gets me excited is that yellowfin tuna are in that water. And if they're comfortable there, those smaller yellowfin, so will the bigger ones be. Warmer water, hurricanes that are pushing more and more fish in this direction. He saw some Dorado down there. Is this meaning, or does this mean we're on the verge of a big yellowfin tuna bite? I don't know. I doubt it right now. We're just starting to develop. But we got our fingers crossed that that's in the offing, because yellowfin bite with greater consistency than these dumb bluefin that are making everybody pull their hair out right now. Really, really tough. Now, up there in the Santa Barbara Island Gap, the gray light yesterday, only 6 anglers. They're out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard. They do such a great job. You put Sean Stewart's name on something, and it's going to be fantastic in this business. He has always provided excellent service and great fishing expertise. That 11 bluefin tuna yesterday, a lot of that foamer popper type fishing, a lot of fun, man. I mean, you get to see the visual when those bluefin blow up on the poppers, but that was the exception. Also here recently out of San Diego, the new Loan had a really good trip. But these are the exceptions right now, okay? There's some of that stuff going on. The producer threw on a really beautiful, big bluefin tuna last night. You've got a chance at it, but I'm just trying to really give you the overall picture, which is pretty putrid right now. It's really not biting that well. But just to show you, there's fish up there in that neck of the woods. We're going to switch over to the islands. And man, I'll tell you, Coronado Islands, even with all the boat pressure, and it is horrendous this morning. I've already talked to a couple of guys who are out there, and there's so many boats, it's ridiculous. The San Diego yesterday, 60 yellowtail, but that really doesn't tell the story. Big, quality, nice big fat yellows. One of those yellows graces our thumbnail this morning on the morning briefing. There's some really nice big yellowtail biting at the Coronado Islands. Surface iron is what I would be fishing. I don't throw surface iron with anything less than 50. For sure, not less than 40, everybody. Make sure you fish heavier line when you get a bite on the iron. We've talked about it a million times, but in case you're new to the game, you set the hook by really grinding down on the handle. Grind, grind, grind until the fish pulls line against the drag, and then you own them. And you own them on heavy line, and you're going to need that because there's structure there at the islands, and these forkies are big, tough fish. Nice down to San Diego. Other boats didn't fare as well, but this boat pressure is horrendous. Watch that bite come roaring back for many other boats here on Monday when some of that boat pressure comes off. That's a nice hit on board the San Diego. Nice going. Boys, we're taking a look also at San Clemente Island where the Fury had 2 yellowtail and wide open calico bass fishing. As we mentioned to you, the Thunderbird has had those big fish, but they've been working their tails up. The Thunderbird said, man, talk about having the factors against you. We had wind, we have this dumb full moon, fish have lockjaw, and the sea lions also were making things difficult. You gotta think that we're setting up for a really good fall because it's been pretty tough here in the summer at times. At other times, it's been absolutely fantastic fishing. So Thunderbird dealing with all that, but still working hard and catching a variety of fish. The El Dorado, nice hit for them out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Man, I got to tell you, you talk about variety. They had a couple of bluefin tuna. They had 4 halibut. They had 2 yellowtail and 51 white sea bass. There's still some of those big sea bass scores to be had. We continue to see guys occasionally coming up. Those were more commonplace earlier in the season. We saw a lot more consistency with regard to the white sea bass and halibut. Now it just seems like a couple of guys are getting in on those bites. Really excellent fishing on the El Dorado. The El Patron out there at Catalina Island had a halibut and pretty good calico bass fishing. Man, I'm telling you, when this bass fishing is picky, it's a little picky like it was on the El Patron at Catalina Island. It's easy, so easy to come away with a limit of bass. Remember, that's 4 fish. They got to be 14 inches long. You drop your fluorocarbon down to 12 or 15, and you're bit up all day long. You got to combine that with choosing a good hot bait and changing that bait regularly, which may seem counterintuitive, but if it doesn't get a bite, who knows what the reason is. It's not getting bit, change it, and get a new, hotter bait out there. That is exactly the way to get a bite. El Patron, every morning, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Remember, www.longbeachsportfishing.org up there in the Channel Islands. A little bit slower also. There's a lot of boat pressure up there. Also, we see the occasional hit on the white sea bass and halibut, the Aloha Spirit, with a nice little hit yesterday. 15 guys, 2 halibut, 9 lingcod, plenty of rockfish. Again, I'm only pointing out the exotics on most of these catches. A lot of guys fill in nicely with a bunch of rockfish and that kind of stuff. 8 halibut on board the Endeavor, the Mirage, with 6 halibut yesterday. We're hoping to see some more white sea bass as we go along here, and hopefully that's going to pop off here very, very soon. But that gray light score of 11 bluefin tuna is indicative at least that the fish are up there, and that's pretty good fishing, man. I mean, what? They needed 1 more for limits of bluefin tuna. So 2 fish per rod, and man, they were knocking on the door of that. Again, Gray Light doing a great job up there in that neck of the woods. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, really great rock fishing up there. And our very own Daphne is out half-day fishing this morning. We wish her the best of luck. We hope, Daphne, you have a great trip. Can't wait to hear how that trip went up there in San Francisco. Continued great fishing on the striped bass and also some fantastic halibut fishing combined with it. San Francisco really biting well. Let's talk about our local bite down in San Diego. Good calico bass fishing with a little bit of yellowtail still around. I mean, you can get a good yellow bite. Double digits on the fork some days on San Diego. The new Seaforth normally fishes half day, had a full day charter. They went offshore and bumped around trying to find a kelp patty or some bluefin. Nothing. Just didn't really manifest itself. But came back into the local area and did well with a couple of yellowtail and 80 calico bass. We see a little bit of sand bass still down there. Good calico bass fishing, possibility of yellowtail. Our good friend John Ho is on the Dolphin this morning. John will be sharing his catch with us later today, and I can't wait to hear from him. Super great guy, John Ho, no doubt about it. We get you up and start moving up. Western Pride and Freelance picked at the sand bass pretty well. Not bad at all up here in the LA Orange County area. Scratchier sand bass fishing. Daytime has been pretty poor. Sculpin, rockfish to go along with it. Sometimes some really good calico bass fishing, no doubt about that. But our sand bass bite here has been slower. The Native Sun on their twilight trip the other night had pretty good fishing. A trip where you could easily come away with limits of sand bass, no doubt about that. I got to tell you, Redondo is rocking and rolling their AM trip. Again, really good calico bass fishing on board my alma mater, the Redondo Special. They've been doing really, really well, full speed. There's some sea bass mixed in with it. Some of them are short, some legals, there's some yellows bouncing around there. They're going to have a good fall up there in the bay. Man, if they get a live squid in September up there, look out on that local bite. That could really rock and roll. But Redondo Special, good. Morning bite is when they caught the calicos. In the afternoon, they were fishing pretty much rockfish, sculpin. Same thing up there out of Marina del Rey. Mostly sculpin, rockfish, that kind of thing. Up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to see some pretty good calico bass fishing, either at the islands or along the coast. A little bit of sand bass, barracuda. Not bad for those species if you want to focus on that. You get off the exotic train and just focus on calico bass, barracuda, sand bass. You can do pretty well there. A lot of rockfish in Santa Barbara, but they've had so many explosive bites this year on sea bass and so much more. Don't count them out. We take a look at the Southern California surf, and I point you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. They've got all the rods and reels that you'll need for a successful outing on that beautiful ocean you see right there. But they also have so much more for the offshore, for the islands, everything you'll need for a big adventure, a big sport fishing adventure. And they give away a free custom rod every single month. Just go in there, buy your ruler from them, and they'll explain the details every month. That's all. There's no more fees, nothing. You just buy the ruler and you're in. As the sun is starting to poke through here in beautiful Southern California, pretty good yellowfin, croaker, and corbina fishing down there around the Huntington Beach Pier where there's still some sand crabs. Also Dog Beach, really good fishing in that neck of the woods on the corbina. Here we have seen a little bit of spot fin croaker. Some guys were fishing down here the other morning, but they are not here today, so they didn't have success. Those guys are really good fishermen. Anderson Street, Pacific Coast Highway, seeing a little bit of yellowfin croaker, and now during a grunion run, we've seen some halibut on a small chrome crocodile, 3/4 ounce that you throw out there, or a lucky crab lure. Long Beach, a few halibut up there in the Santa Monica Bay around the Manhattan and Hermosa Beach piers. We're seeing some pretty decent corbina fishing, few yellowfin croaker up there around the El Porto area, and still some bar perch up there in the Channel Island area. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. It's a beautiful Sunday. Man, sleep deprivation month is almost over. I can't wait for the fair to end this year. Man, it's been really hectic. I've had a hectic schedule. Yesterday, my friends, we laid to rest our dear friend Bob Gifford, and I saw so many of you there. Sat with Michael Limon, Dan Lightfoot. I saw the taxman, Tim Marquez. I don't want to start naming people because I'll leave somebody out. Maybe I didn't see somebody, but for all of you like Wayne Shima Bakuro, who came out yesterday, it was a very, very touching moment for sure. So we send all our love and prayers and blessings to Bob's family. And of course, I thank you all for praying and keeping him in your thoughts. Means the world does. All right. Tomorrow, we've got 2 live shows, Tackle Shop Confessions, 6 p.m., when we're going to give away 2 beautiful Z custom rods. Z custom rods. Z custom rods. I'm going to run the ad one more time here at the end of today's report so you can get all caught up on that. Remember, $5 for a ticket, $20 for 5 tickets. Don't have to be present. We'll ship the rod to you. We'll get it to you somehow. I'll hand deliver it. Rods, I should be plural here, giving away a couple of beautiful rods Monday, and you can participate. Just get a hold of Chuck Zimmer at the end here of the morning briefing. Just listen up. You'll see all the contact info and be able to participate. Take care. Have a great one, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Shop Confessions is back with a big raffle this Monday, August the 11th. We've got 2 Z Custom Rod Chovy rods ready to go out to you. A TTR 880 rated at 15 to 30 pounds and a Seeker CLB 804 10 to 25 pound rod. Tickets are only $5 or you can get 5 tickets for $20. You can Zelle Chuck Zimmer at 310-918-1448 or Venmo Chuck at Charles Charles-Zimmer-5. Any more questions, send Chuck a text, 310-918-1448. Hope you win. Shop Confessions is back with a big raffle this Monday, August the 11th. We've got 2 Z Custom Rod Chovy rods ready to go out to you. A TTR 880 rated at 15 to 30 pounds and a Seeker CLB 804 10 to 25 pound rod. Tickets are only $5 or you can get 5 tickets for $20. You can Zelle Chuck Zimmer at 310-918-1448 or Venmo Chuck at Charles-Zimmer-5. Any more questions, send Chuck a text, 310-918-1448. Hope you win big.